It is now my pleasure to invite my friend Emre Celik to the pulpit. This is I believe, is this our third or our fourth iftar together? Yeah, it's 3 or 4. Suffice to say, we've had a few that are wonderful every time because Emre is an incredible organizer, an incredible speaker on behalf of his community, and a friend. He arrived in New York with more than 20 years of experience in the interfaith, multicultural, and education fields, having worked in Sydney, Brisbane, Melbourne, and Washington, D.C. He was a member of the Religious Freedom Center's Committee on Religious Liberty and the International Religious Freedom Roundtable on Capitol Hill. He organized the first ever Eid al-Adha celebration at the White House and has received alumni awards from his 2 alma mater for his work with faith-based communities. Most recently, he was project coordinator for the first ever Holocaust education program for Muslim students. He is the chairman of the International Festival of Language and Culture USA and is also completing a PhD in Islamic Studies looking at civil Islam in America. It is a wonderful gift that he is giving us by being here tonight. He has been all over the tri-state area since Ramadan began at different communities, and tonight we are so excited to invite him to speak from our pulpit.
Good evening, everyone, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to be with you all today. Shabbat Shalom. I'm the Executive Director, as Rabbi Andy pointed out, of Peace Islands, New York, based here in Manhattan for the last 15 years, and founded and funded by Muslim Americans that are dedicated to bringing together New York's diverse communities. At the core of our nonprofit is the want and need to overcome the concept of the other. That instead of being numerous disparate communities, that in actual fact we are closer to being one unified community brought together by our desire to respect all, learn from each other, and serve the communities we live in. The Peace Islands, New York, accomplishes this with like-minded organizations like Temple Emanu-El and others that value engagement and collaboration and overcoming prejudice and misunderstanding and ignorance. We do this by organizing numerous types of gatherings, be it small group conversations, larger panels and conferences, social gatherings, breaking bread during Shabbat and Ramadan, listening to music, enjoying the arts, education programs, and shared community service projects, among numerous other types of activities. Our unofficial motto is, by any means necessary. Nice means, of course. Most recently, we coordinated a unique and historic project aimed at high school students, Muslim high school students, a first of its type not only here in America, but to our best knowledge in the world. And that project was the Holocaust Education Project for Muslim students. This was specifically aimed at young Muslims to help overcome and eradicate stereotypes and historical baggage. The project ran for 10 weeks and included discussions with rabbis and Holocaust survivors and a visit to the Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C. So I do hope the members of Temple Emanu-El continue to walk the shared path together, and I want to thank the rabbis here who have always welcomed us and sought opportunities to discuss collaboration. So thank you. I wanted to say a few words about this very special month that we're currently in, the month of Ramadan. It is indeed a very special month for your Muslim neighbors and friends. 30 days of sacrifice from food and water, early eating before the dawn and breaking fast at sunset. It reminds us of the very simple nature of the human spirit and its sometimes forgotten appreciation of the food and water we consume. For me, appreciation and thanks I give for that first sip of water is immeasurable, and it adds to our heightened sense of the role of water in our communities, in our environment, and the urgency we have in protecting all things that need this critical commodity. The Quran, the Holy Scripture for Muslims, tells us, and I quote, "O you who have believed, decreed upon you is fasting as it was decreed upon those before you, that you may become righteous." So fasting is a shared tradition by many communities that existed before Muslims, and it aims to produce moral and upright people, among numerous other things. Ramadan is the month in which the Quran was first revealed to Prophet Muhammad. In this month, we are much more empathetic to those around us. We increase our charity and, of course, sacrifice from food and water, but also to abstain from wrongdoing and sin, a fast from those such things. It is also a social month. We are told in one of Prophet Muhammad's traditions that the guest brings with them 10 blessings and leaves with only one, meaning the remaining blessings are gifted to the host. So people and families look to host people, friends, others, and among them strangers during this month. It is also hoped that Ramadan, like a boot camp, trains us for the rest of the year, and the momentum gained carries us through. I hope some of you know the Muslim mystic poet and thinker Rumi, and I wanted to end with his poem on fasting. Fasting by Mevlana Jalaluddin Rumi. There's a hidden sweetness in the stomach's emptiness. We are lutes, no more, no less. If the sound box is stuffed full of anything, no music. If the brain and belly are burning clean with fasting, every moment a new song comes out of the fire. The fog clears, and new energy makes you run up the steps in front of you. Be emptier and cry like the reed instruments cry. Emptier, write secrets with the reed pen. And when you are full of food, Satan sits where your spirit should, an ugly metal statue in place of the Kaaba. When you fast, good habits gather like friends who want to help. Fasting is Solomon's ring. Don't give it to some illusion and lose your power. But even if you've lost all will and control, then come back when you fast, like soldiers appearing out of the ground, pennants flying above them. A table descends to your tents, Jesus' table. Expect to see it when you fast. This table spread with other food, better than the broth of cabbages. Thank you.